Hello everybody and welcome to another StarCraft 2 Supremacy Guide video. In this replay, we'll be going over how to overcome a proxy gateway build. Let's go ahead and get started, and actually right away we are going to speed this up so we can get to the most important part of this lesson, which is when the proxy does start. Now, first and foremost, our opponent will be scouting us, and once he sees this creep, he'll instantly know where we are. We'll throw down a pylon reasonably close to where our base is, and from there he'll actually just be throwing down the gateways. And as we can see, we've been going for a standard build. We went for about a 15 here and a 14 with the spawning pool, which is a very safe way to open because we do not want to ever go for the expansion first against Protoss. For reasons like this is because they can be aggressive so early with such great success, and especially if our opponent does scout us really early and does see that we have thrown down the hatchery, he can switch to a forge, block off our ramp, and then throw down cannons from there, and that might cost us the game. So in the meantime, we can see that our opponent has finished his gateways. We had scouted this with the Overlord, which is very important. When we are using the Overlords, we want to send our first one to the closest base via air distance, obviously. And then we'll send that over to this cross base here. And with the next Overlord that we do pump out, we're just going to send it straight across. And in doing so, we did spot this, which is very important. And in reaction, we can see that we actually will be throwing down a spine crawler. We've already gotten metabolic boost, and notice we are taking off gas right away. This is very important because we need as many minerals as possible. Throw down that spine crawler, maybe even two, because we cannot spend all of our minerals at this point, as we can see. Normally we'd be gearing up to throw down an expansion, but now that we see these zealots, well, we cannot do that, and we cannot spend all of our minerals on larva as we just got our queen, so throwing down another spine crawler would be completely reasonable. And what we're going to want to do is try to engage in open spaces. If we try to attack zealots that are here, or maybe in cracks like here, well, what we're going to do is decrease the surface area that zealots can be attacked, and our Zerglings are going to get torn apart one by one. Now at this point he has way too many zealots for our few amount of Zerglings to handle, so we actually will be having to bring in the drones on this fight. And notice that we're baiting him until we can get a nice surround with our drones, like so. If you can micro drones back, that would be great. Now being defensive in this situation is going to be pretty micro intensive, but the main things we want to do is keep as many drones alive as possible and keep our queen alive at all costs. And in doing this, we will be able to have a somewhat okay transition back into counter aggression, which is what we're going to need to do. If our opponent does this much damage to us, what we're going to have to do is just commit to Zerglings, which, as we can see, we do now have metabolic boost out, and we can start to abuse the speed of our Zerglings early on in this game. In the meantime, our opponent has just been making probes and zealots, and really he doesn't have much defense at his main, and this is what we're going to take advantage of. In the meantime, we can see we're pumping out a lot of speedlings, and we are going to go for our harass here while we are trying to